I'm making a continuation on my resolution to normalize my relationship with food that I made. Wow, 11 months ago now. I had a problem during Thanksgiving. I was 17 years old at the time, and my family, my parents, and my brother had gone on vacation. I didn't go with them because I had a big fear of flying at the time. We were living in Pittsburgh, and my family went to visit some extended family members in California. And my brother was 4 years old. He had a little bit of a concept of the fear of flying, and he kind of laughed at me, if I remember correctly. But I stayed home. Around the same time, I started to be a little bit worried about my weight. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. I kind of blamed it on the fact that I was overweight. In truth, I had other problems in my life, but I blamed it all on being overweight. So I was very gung ho about it. And the last day of my little staycation slash quarantine slash the fear of flying, I overate. And when I realized I had eaten too much for that day, I decided that it would be a good opportunity to get all the cheating out of the way, right? Just for that one day. So I walked to a nearby grocery store. We lived in a suburb of Pittsburgh. It's about a mile and a half. I walked to the store to get a 10-pound bag of potatoes and some coconut oil. I had a favorite recipe for French fries, and I used up all 10 pounds of potatoes, and I wolfed it all down. 10 pounds of potatoes! And now I really felt I had blown it, so I went back to the store to get other foods to try. And before I knew it, I was eating tens of thousands of calories. You gotta remember, because I had been on a diet all year, and now that I thought I could cheat all I wanted, it would only be one cheat day anyway. That's the kind of logic that set it in my head. So I ended up finishing the night consuming about 20 to 30,000 calories, and I went back out for more food because I thought I might as well, because I've already blown it anyway. And so I get to a park bench in the city park, and I sit down, I collapse. And it's a small town, so neighbors got concerned, and before long the police showed up, and the officer asked me what I was doing. He thought I was using some kind of drugs, and I explained to him that, well, I probably shouldn't have used humor like this. I explained, yeah, my drug of choice is food. And he thought I was still using a code word. He says, what does that mean? What drug is it? Marijuana? Is it cocaine? And no, food, literally. And at this point, my family had landed in Pittsburgh International Airport, and my dad picked up his cell phone. The police officer had called him, and my dad confirmed that sometimes I did have eating kind of problems. So the officer takes me down to the station to wait for my parents to pick me up. And we had a nice conversation. And sometimes, now looking back at it, even though it was 16 years ago, I still have a binge eating problem every Thanksgiving because I keep wanting to relive that memory of that time when I was out on these walks to go get more food, and when the officer spent like an hour talking to me. I rarely had conversations like that. Like I said, I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. And it just gives me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling that somebody cared about me, to think that I was high on drugs. And we live in a small town. And so ever since then, I've had difficulty with my eating habits on Thanksgiving. I always want to binge eat on Thanksgiving just to relive those memories. It's kind of stupid because nobody's talking to me during that time. I'm hopefully not getting involved with the police. Right now I can actually fly. Well, not in 2020, but hopefully when COVID-19 passes, I'll actually fly somewhere during Thanksgiving. But I just can't let go of that memory. And so if you're having binge eating problems, try to remember exactly what it is that gave you such a good feeling about binge eating, and actually try to do something about it, right? Don't just replace it with your bad habits of binge eating, of drug use, of smoking, of anything else, right?